Solutions and common ground can be found so that together we can forge a new way forward. The Sharpe way is the way to mutual respect, where no one has to convert to be heard, because you can be as liberal or as conservative as you want, as long as you aren't forcing your beliefs on others. Welcome to Sharpe Way Radio.
Hey, it is Larry Sharpe, WYSL Rochester, New York, Sharpe Way Radio. So happy you are giving me a chunk of your afternoon. You know, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he was talking about a time when he kind of didn't have a house, had an issue getting divorced, had to leave, had to go to a friend's house for a while. And I remember him saying how awkward he felt that he was unable to have a house at the time. So he went to a friend's house. He stayed there for a little bit. But as soon as he could, he got up and he left, right? He stayed as long as he could. He stayed as long as he had to. Then he took off. He felt bad. And the people who let him stay were happy to have him and let him go. But then later, that same group of people, because of this guy's good way of handling it, let somebody else stay in their home. And when that person came in their home, they didn't want to leave. They liked being there. They were happy being there. They stayed there a real long time. They basically stayed there until they were no longer welcome. Now, again, you might say to yourself, well, Larry, that's kind of that guy's fault. He's a bad guy. Maybe. At the same time, can't you also say it is the people's, who own the house? Isn't it also their issue for not either telling him no, option one, option two, making the rules crystal clear? You may stay for 30 days or 2 weeks or whatever is the appropriate time they see fit. Their house, they can say 5 years if they want to, but whatever they decide is appropriate for their home, that too. Or is it a broken system where someone has to feel like they have to stay with somebody and not be able to work? All those things are possible. But I would ask, did the people who brought the person into the house, did they know better or not? And I think it's not crystal clear on whose fault it is, except it's probably everybody's fault. Now, let me go one step further. In the case of this family, guy comes in to stay there, and that family has kids. Well, now the kids aren't able to have as much fun because some guy is in their house. They change how they think, how they act, because some guy is in their house. It's pain. Not just that. They're helping to feed this guy and paying rent for this guy. And the kids, well, maybe they can't go to the movies on Saturday night now because mom and dad are spending cash on the other guy. Happens too. So now other people are suffering too. You might go, Larry, you're being mean because this guy is in need. I would agree with you. Guy's in need. That's true. Is it required then for the parents to support him? And if they agreed, let's say they agreed to say, no, I care about this guy. He's my friend or my family member, whoever. I want to help him out. So I'm good. I'm prepared to accept that. I am prepared to accept that because he's my friend or he's my family member. I'm okay with that. What about the kids? Aren't they family members too? What about uncle or aunt who might want a present for their birthday or something? Aren't they also a problem too? I only bring this up because this is that's a microcosm of what's actually happening across the country, New York State, and New York City. I am not mad, and this can maybe will make some of you unhappy, at the millions of migrants who want to come here and the tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands that come to New York City. I'm not mad at them. I said, Larry, how come they're doing bad stuff? They're hurting our city. Some of them are doing bad things, 100%, and many of them are hurting our city, 100% true. But to be very forward with you, we invited them. And when I say we, I mean our government. I should be clearer. Our government invited them. Our city council passed laws in New York City. Our assembly passed laws at the state level saying that they can come. In fact, that we want them. We did. Now you might go, Larry, I didn't do it. Yeah, you didn't. But your reps did. Mine too. The reps that I did not vote for. But they absolutely passed these laws. So we have asked them to come in. We have begged them to come in. And here they are. Why am I not mad at them? Because if I was them, I'd do it too. And probably you would also. If you were in some country where you were unhappy or you were worried or you couldn't make any money or whatever's your problem, and you got New York City saying, come on, I got work, I got money, I got credit cards for you, come on in, you'd probably go too. And that's the issue, is that we probably would go. And they are. And now they're here. And this is my biggest issue, which is why I don't just blame the migrants. And people do. I don't. I blame our leadership. I blame our system that literally said, come here with no plan. Clearly, this country, businesses want migrants. Me too. Not against migrants at all. But I've been saying this literally for years now. You can't accept migrants without a plan. But now we have one. We do have a plan now. I don't know if you heard this, but New York City now, New York State has a plan. You know what that plan is? Uncle Joe, write me checks. I wish I was making that up. I wish I was, but I'm not. Uncle Joe, write me checks. Uncle Joe Biden, while you're writing checks to everyone outside of America, also write me a check here, please, in New York State, New York City, so that we could pay for these migrants. That's the plan. Now, I know you say, wait a minute, Larry, that can't be the plan. No. That's the plan. Our Lord and Master, Her Majesty, Queen Kathy, first of her name, destroyer of the middle class, she has decreed it to be true. She said openly. So, believe it or not, has Eric Adams, our local baron here in New York City. He has also said so. That's the answer. More checks. See, you might say, wait a minute, Larry, just throw money at it? Yeah, that's it. We are now, and I'm sure you've heard of this if you're paying attention at all, New York City now is going to drop $53 million on debit cards for migrants. Now, am I necessarily against debit cards for migrants? No, I'm not. But can't there be charity organizations who could create that because they care about migrants? Yeah. People tell me all the time they care about migrants. Okay, let's have a nonprofit. We can donate lots of money to it. And then people who want to help migrants may do so. And we can give them, I don't care, millions. As long as it's voluntary and you want to help out, go ahead, please. What a wonderful idea. My problem is this is taxpayer money and or Uncle Joe's national debt, one of the two, if not both. And in some points, it's New York State debt, which is now, what, over $400 billion now? So it's debt and taxpayer dollars that's going to this program and more. Hotels, cell phones. The question I would ask you is, what about New Yorkers? What about New Yorkers? New York City has about, depending upon how you count it, about 100,000 homeless people. Let me say that one more time. About 100,000 homeless people, give or take. 100,000 homeless people, and at least 1/4 of those are children. Think about that. What is our priority? Not them. We have probably almost 1 million people in New York City who are under the poverty line, which in New York City, the poverty line is Family of four, $27,000 a year. Individual, things like $13,000, $14,000 a year. That's considered poverty line. Under that, if you know New York City, imagine trying to survive in New York City, family of four, $28,000. The median in New York City, about $68,000 a year. That's the median. So just to kind of live in this city, you kind of need to have about $68K a year to live. That's not like going on vacation every year. That's not, having a second house. No. That's just living. 68K is the median. Well, Larry, it's okay because the people who are working for us, they love us. They care about it. They tell us this all the time. They do. Do you know how much the city council member makes here in New York City? $148K a year to be a city councilman who just screws people over every day. Over double the median. Where are our priorities? Can we afford to help ourselves? I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. You can tell me. 585-346-3000 is the number. Larry Sharpe, WYSL, Rochester, New York, Sharpe Radio. Back with your calls and the chat after the break.
Introducing a sobering and unavoidable truth. The latest advancements in artificial intelligence have made cyber attacks easier than ever before. Cyber criminals are relentlessly targeting your business right now, seeking the tiniest opening in your defenses to drain your accounts and steal sensitive data. Your finances and your customers' trust are on the line. Call the experts at Simple Tech Innovations now at 585-999-TECH to secure your business today. Don't wait until it's too late. Make the call today. 585-999-TECH.
To live the quality of life we deserve in truth and freedom, informed by our Constitution, our laws, and traditions, we need to pick the best leaders possible. Recent experience certainly illustrates that. Free and accurate elections are essential if we're going to restore our society.
All right, when we come back, I'm going to play a classic Eric Adams clip from when he was a freshman assemblyman demanding more money for assemblymen.
And reform of the electoral process statewide.
Yep.
Did you know
and then we also have Mike from Rochester on the line.
That in 2020, there were 625,000 more voter registrations than existing voting age citizens in just 6 New York counties, that there were 338,000 more votes cast than voters who voted. These are just a few shocking examples of the urgent need for reform. You can help. Visit auditny.com and learn the facts, how to volunteer and make a difference in your community. Again, volunteer, donate, or spread the word. Start at auditny.com. That's auditny.com.
Sharpe Way Radio on the WYSL stations.
I deserve to be paid more. And I'm only a freshman and I'm already complaining. We better vote on a raise and make sure we get paid more.
And look, at least Eric Adams is honest. He was like, I'm not sure he's honest. He was honest then. How about that? I'll say that. He was honest then. He literally said, I want to get paid more. I'm complaining. I want to make sure I'm making the big dollars. That's it. It's very true. He is all about the money. I'll give him that at least. There's something. So, yes. Let me, if I could, I want to grab a call if I could. Mike from Rochester. How are you, sir?
Larry, pretty good. Hey, why we're speaking about Her Majesty the Queen. Another brilliant idea she wants to allow with these illegal invaders is to lower our standards for nursing home workers and hospital workers. So now we can employ these people, okay? And we can look to Great Britain and their National Institutes of Health. They pulled the same stuff with their illegal invaders. In the last 5 years, they had over 22,000 reported cases of rape, sexual assault, and battery to their senior citizens throughout the country.
Yeah, but I have to ask a question. I don't mean to nudge on this one, but I have to ask a question. Is that an increase? Like, was it always that bad?
No,
or has it gotten worse?
That is an increase. No, that's on top of what they had on top of it. Oh no, that wasn't.
Oh, that's additional.
This is additional. Yes, because 5 years ago, the National Institute of Health, and you know what, Dr. Savage could check it out. It's actually published in the British papers, the newspapers. It's a big story going on in Great Britain now. Yep, over 22,000 reported cases. And this is the same scheme that Kathy Hochul wants to pull on us.
Well, I don't know. If you look at what Cuomo did, Cuomo killed them. So this might be better. Yep. I don't know if we're looking at one or the other. I mean, we hate our seniors in this state. So I guess we can kill them or we can, I don't know, assault them. I'm not sure which one's worse.
Right. I don't know if you've seen the commercials that have been going out. There's been the hospital groups have been putting out commercials saying that the Medicaid system pays 30% less, and they've been wanting to get more money. So I think you think sometimes I'm a conspiracy theorist. It's usually between a theory and what's going on is about 6 months. Okay,
that's very true.
Cuomo tried killing the seniors off, but he didn't do well. He did a fairly good job. He knocked off almost 20,000 altogether if you're looking at the numbers. Okay, so now if Kathy brings all these people in, it's a 2-for-1. She hires all of her illegals. She's going to give them green cards. She's going to get a voting platform. Okay, she's got new voters because as soon as they get their licenses, they're going to get registered as a voter, and they're going to vote even though they legally can't. So what you're going to put these people, she's lowering the standards. The standard for a nursing home is a CNA, certified nursing assistant, which takes about 6 months if you go through the program. Okay, that's the low end to get in. She's fast tracking these people. So you know when people are falling off of beds and breaking bones and stuff like that and dying from neglect, I guess it's a win-win.
Look at phone text.
Right?
Yeah, the thing that everything you said, I hear you. And in theory, I wouldn't be against if I honestly thought it was a plan because they cared and they wanted to fix things. But if that was the plan, Mike, they would have done this years ago. If they really, because this problem has been a problem for years. If they really cared, they would have changed or adjusted some of the trainings or fixed something or done something like this back in 2019, 2020. But you're right. This is just for this problem. This is a Band-Aid that they decided, wait a minute, we'll do a Band-Aid, but it will help us. I just got a joke texting me. Democrats don't care if elderly people pass away because they know they get voted for by dead people. Good joke. Very good joke. Yes. But in any case, I get your point. I am bothered by it because they're going to use it as, see, if you don't support this, you hate the elderly. That will be the spin on this one. It's a valid point.
Or they like to use the R word. Okay.
Yes.
You're a racist.
Yes, that too.
Wait a minute. I you know what? I like to see my elderly, family members being taken care of. It doesn't matter who's taken care of, but you want qualified people.
Right.
You want somebody qualified.
You don't want someone who's just looking for a job. I completely agree. Yeah. Mike, thanks for the call. I appreciate it, brother.
All right. Good day.
So yeah, this goes back to the same thing. In theory, I don't want to be negative on the idea of repairing the system. I think we should. And maybe, again, I'm not an expert here. Maybe the standards are too high. I have no idea. I'm making that up. Maybe they should be adjusted or shifted. But if that's the case, do it to fix the system, not to help people who are showing up and now throwing them into this system because you think, well, anybody can do this work, shove it into them, and then the elderly people pay the price. Not not happy about that at all. Yes. So, yeah, I appreciate that completely. I want to grab a couple comments if I could. Amy says, we love you, Larry Sharpe. I love you too. I love you right back. Absolutely. Ed says, the problem is how the New York City mayor and the government, included those who voted Democrats, are therefore letting the migrants over the cancel pigs. I don't know what that is, who are using threats to get voters to vote blue or to be labeled as racist. Same idea. Right. Look, I want to be clear one more time. Not against migrants, against no plan. If you have an actual plan to bring them in, vet them effectively, get them out to businesses that want them, good. Let's do it. All in. We've done none of that. We have literally just let them run the streets of New York City. This is a bad idea for anybody, but particularly for people who don't know the culture. They're migrants. Don't know the culture, don't know the language, don't know how things work. And for those of you who haven't been paying attention, there has been a crime spree in New York City with migrants now. Of course. Of course. How would that not happen? And people will say, well, women not even beating up cops. Of course, the countries they come from, the cops are literally mobsters. So of course they would. They don't know the system here. Of course. We haven't trained them. We haven't taught them. We've done nothing. We've just said, good luck. Here's a hotel room. Here's a debit card. See you in a couple years, I guess. And then we wonder why this is happening. Of course it is. Joe says, make immigration legal again. Yes. And I know I get upset about this, and I brought this up more than I have other topics. And I try to not be that guy who hammers the same thing. I try to give different ideas every week. But I know I've been kind of pushing this a bit. And I've been pushing it because Joe's point is a valid point. Are you telling me I'm the only guy in America who can figure out how to fix this migrant problem? No, I'm not that smart. There are lots of other people who could figure this out, but they won't. But they won't. You hear all the time on the left and the right, the same thing. We want more legal immigration. Yes, then let's find an answer to make these people legal before they get here. Let's vet them. You tell me you can't vet. There are literally massive international companies who hire from dozens of countries yearly, move people back and forth across borders with different skill sets, from as someone who's a cleaner to someone who's a computer programmer, and everything in between, every different skill set, every age range. And somehow there's no massive crime spree from these people. They have found a way already to vet people and to get them hired. Literally millions of them across the world. Companies are doing it right now as we speak. And somehow our completely incompetent city, state, and federal governments won't do it. No, I didn't say can't, because of course they can. I just gave you examples of people who are doing it. They won't. And we keep fighting each other over this. And the worst part is the people who are paying the price are the poorest. The crime spree in New York, they just busted a group of people in New York City. They're driving around on bikes and scooters and stealing cell phones and handbags from women who are walking alone. That's New York City now. Now, that's happened in the past, maybe 30, 40 years ago in the Dinkins, but that hasn't happened since then. It's happening now. We are not fixing this problem. We can, and we should. It's going to crush us. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharpe, WYSL, Rochester, New York, Shortwave Radio. Back with your calls and more of your chat. I see you. I'll get back to your chat after the break.
I don't care what paper. Let the editorial boards from Buffalo to New York state that they will go 8 years, 9 years without a raise.
For truth and freedom.
WYSL.
AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
I love his
Here's the latest
enunciation
forecast
paper.
from the News 10 NBC Weather Center. For tonight, we'll have mainly clear skies. Still a little frosty cold. We'll dip down into the 20s. On Wednesday, a good-looking day, sun and clouds. We'll be into the low 40s. We may get into the low 50s on Thursday, but it will turn mostly cloudy. Maybe just a little bit of a breeze, but it should still be dry. Some rain showers, 50s, likely on Friday. I'm Rich Cadelia, WYSL.
Start your new year outright with your new ride from the great selection at Victor Chevrolet. Now, lease a 2024 Chevy Trax 1 RS front-wheel drive for just $259 a month for 36 months. Get the cold weather safety and capability of a 2024 Chevy Silverado LT Crew Cab, just $349 a month for 36 months. And then there's the 24 Chevy Equinox all-wheel drive LT at only $249 a month for 27 months. $2,500 cash.
I'm going to play another one coming back where he wants to say, yeah, I do. I'm going to play another one where he makes reference and he wants to say pauper, but he says porpoise.
Rebates, incentives, and discounts waived. Whether you drive a Chevy or not, trust your vehicle to our Chevy certified service department and check our great used vehicle inventory too. Come see how easy it is to do business with us. Together, let's drive at Victor Chevrolet, Route 96 in Victor. Visit victorchevrolet.com.
Hi there, I'm Connie, Top Cat at Alley Cat Boutique. If you're looking for unique clothes, shoes, jewelry, and gifts, Alley Cat has it all at the perfect price. Alley Cat is a charming and entertaining shopping trip. If you haven't visited yet, stop in and be enchanted. It's a new year everywhere, and this year Alley Cat is offering something new. A psychic reader in the store on Saturdays. If you've never had an intuitive reading, this is a perfect opportunity. Stop in the store or call 585-317-0699 to make an appointment. Alley Cat Perfect Price Boutique, 5604 Big Tree Road, Lakeville, across from Minihans. See you there, cats.
In the Rochester and Finger Lakes region, one name stands above all others for real estate appraisal and advice.
Ryan Murphy and Associates.
This full-service real estate appraisal company can appraise and advise on purchase and sales decisions, mortgage finance feasibility, estate, matrimonial, partnership buyouts, litigation, and more for any type of property, both residential and commercial. Ryan Murphy was founded almost 40 years ago. All of our highly trained staff members have at least 20 years of experience. All our appraisers are either New York State certified general or residential real estate appraisers.
Ryan Murphy and Associates.
Start here. RYNNEMurphy.com.
Introducing a sobering and unavoidable truth. The latest advancements in artificial intelligence have made cyber attacks easier than ever before. Cyber criminals are relentlessly targeting your business right now, seeking the tiniest opening in your defenses to drain your accounts and steal sensitive data. Your finances and your customers' trust are on the line. Call the experts at Simple Tech Innovations now at 585-999-TECH to secure your business today. Don't wait until it's too late. Make the call today. 585-999-TECH.
If you are dealing with chronic pain, Dr. Sharpe Patel is now available in the Southern Tier. Serving Noyes, Jones, and St. James hospitals, Dr. Patel is an experienced pain management specialist. He offers steroid injections and many other procedures and has a special interest in the lumbar and cervical spine. Don't let chronic pain impact your quality of life. Ask your doctor for a referral or call 585-243-0150.
At Tom Wall's, we've been making small batch root beer in each of our restaurants since 1955. I'm Michael. I work at the Avon location. You know, somewhere in the world, the best root beer is made, and maybe, just maybe, it's Tom Wall's. Tom Wall's. Good. Good.
At Open Door Mission, we support individuals trying to recover from alcohol and drug abuse. We address the spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, and social goals of our residents to give them the best chance for a successful recovery. Learn more and give at opendoormission.com.
Sharpe Way Radio on the WYSL stations.
And I say that to the governor, I say that to the mayor, I say that to anyone. And anyone here that believe you are so marginal that you want to be a porpoise, then you do it on your own. Show me the money.
I like that. I don't want to be a porpoise. A pauper maybe. I don't want to be a porpoise. Some people, when we live in New York City, a porpoise might have a better lifestyle. So maybe he has a point. I don't know. Larry Sharpe here, Sharpe Way Radio, WYSL, Rochester, New York, 585-346-3000. Yes, that is my mayor yelling how he wants so much. Just badly, he wants the money for himself and his friends and his family, which again, not against. Make money. I hope everybody watching, I hope everybody listening is loving this and making tons of money. That's awesome. But it doesn't mean I have to punish others. It doesn't mean I have to wreck everybody else's life to do so. That's the part that always drives me crazy. So let me grab some more comments if I can. I have a bunch of these, and I appreciate all of the people who are doing this. John asks, does the child poverty rate include homeless? It does, because we see Rochester as the #1 worst community for child poverty. New York State has the worst, and this is going to sound horrible, but it has the absolute worst wealth gap in the country. And we are supposedly, right, one of the least free, ranked by Cato 5 years in a row. We have the most programs, the most unionized workers in the entire country, by percentage, obviously. Most unionized workers, most everything that socialists and communists say they want. Now, of course, they don't do it in the actual socialist communist way. They do it in our worst possible way, of course. And people are leaving New York, and we have a horrible wealth gap. Think about that. You're right, John. It's not working. Frankie says, this can't stay this way. Something will snap. Yes, we'll pack up and leave. That's what's happening. We are absolutely packing up and leaving. Patty says, a family of 7 with 4 incomes can't make it in upstate New York either. That is a group of extended family members who enjoy very few extras. And there goes the next piece, Patty. It's not that we should have extras. You should, I should, everybody should. John should. We should all have some extras. I don't think we all, need to be going on vacation 6 times a year. I get that, right? Okay. But why can't we have some extras? Isn't that why we live in America? Isn't that why we stay in places like this? So we can have some cool extras that we like? Whether that's a cool pair of shoes or a cool gadget that we like or a cool video game or a vacation we go on once a year. Shouldn't we be able to have extras? And you're saying a family of 7 with 4 incomes can't do it. I'm telling you, families in New York City can't do it. And you know what our priorities are in New York City? I'm not joking. We did a press conference on this today. Our mayor, yesterday was it? What's today? I forgot. Recently, New York City is going to be the host of the FIFA finals in 2026. That's soccer, for those who don't know what that is, right? That's soccer. The finals, 2026. Why would he care? Because imagine all the jobs he's going to give out, all the contracts he's going to give out to his friends and family. I wish I was joking about that. That's what he cares about. That's one of his priorities. Second priority he has, and he mentioned it, this is out of his mouth, is shutting down illegal smoke shops, because that's critical as New Yorkers can't pay their bills. His issues are the FIFA finals in 2026, 2 years from now, and illegal smoke shops. He brought that up. We found out recently that his family and friends were staying in hotels. I'm not joking. They were under contract for the city. Because as you know, we don't have to have that many tourists anymore. Why? Because the migrants now are in hotels and the government's writing checks to the hotel owners. That's a real thing. So we'll have more of those. That's the issue, right? Patty goes on to say, I have no problem with people looking for a better life. I agree. See, we're the same page. I'm not mad at them. They're doing what I probably would do. Patty, if me and you were there, we'd be crossing the border too. I get it. But if it hurts me and my family and friends, those who already live in my house, I must protest. This is the part that I want people to understand and why it's been hitting so many people who usually are very pro-immigrant, right? I'm talking about places like the Bronx. The Bronx has notoriously been very pro-immigrant, and I mean for decades, like back in the year 1900 when Irish and Jewish immigrants were coming to the Bronx. The Bronx has always been open to immigrants. They're not anymore. You're seeing people saying no in the Bronx. Bronx is a Democratic stronghold, and they're saying no. Why? To your point, Patty, it's starting to hurt people who live in their house. No, I'm not there. I'm not prepared to go there. Vernon says, Larry would put them to work in the cannabis fields. If they want to. Go ahead. If you want to work in a cannabis field, please. I would not put anyone to work, to be clear. Never. I'm not a taskmaster like that. I would never do it. But if New York State farmers want farmhands and migrants want to come be farmhands, okay. What's wrong with that? Let's just vet them. That's my critical issue. Get them paying taxes like everybody else. I wish we had lower taxes, obviously. But then we all get to pay lower taxes as long as we're all paying the same. All good. Get over to the cannabis fields if you want to. Nothing wrong with that at all. I'm in. Merlin, I don't know if that was a joke or you were trying to get me, but I'm on board. Let's do it. Yes. So, Steve, great joke. He says, illegal aliens are doing crimes that Americans are too hopeless to do. God, that's a terrible joke, but a good one. But yes, that's the problem, right? A lot of Americans have just given up on everything. And even crime. Wow, that's horrible to say. But they've even given up on crime. They've just given up. Absolutely. Yes. So Gene says, if they solve the problem, how would they keep getting elected? Gene, I wish you were wrong. I wish you were wrong. And this is the biggest piece. As I said earlier, are you telling me I'm the only guy who can figure out a plan to fix this? Are you telling me all these international companies who've already found ways of fixing this can't fix it? Of course they can. There's no doubt. Of course they can. They can fix it. They cross countries every day. So why won't we fix this? So Malinakis can do a press conference about how bad the Democrats are. And so Eric Adams do a press conference on how racist Republicans are. That's the reason. I don't have to solve a problem. I just point my finger to the other guy's bad. And that's it. I completely agree. Frank says, but where did they get the money to afford the expensive electric scooters from? They don't qualify in New York to become fully employed. Well, yeah, but no. And Frank goes, yes, my prior question is bait. It is. You're right. Look, I think we know what's happening. And this goes back to the same thing. Many of you, if you listen or watch, are saying to yourself, but Larry, we can't afford these workers. We don't want these migrants. We don't want these illegal aliens. We don't want these undocumented workers. The problem is big business does. Even big farm does. Big agriculture does. They want them. And how our system works, if they want them, they're going to get them. You can be mad at it if you want to, but we got to change the system or it's going to keep happening. I've been trying to change this system since 2018. I keep losing, but I keep trying. Right now, this is the system. That's the system. They're going to get them. Let's vet them. To Joe's point, let's make immigration legal again. Let's find an answer. Look, you might go, but Larry, bad guys come in. Yes, but I brought this up 1,000 times and I'll keep bringing it up. If you make it to where it's an Ellis Island type system, where anyone who wants to come legally goes to the Ellis Island, private companies take it over. Literally, recruiting companies that are doing it right now for private companies take this over. They're paying the jackals, whatever they call them, the people they bring up, they're paying them left and right. They're paying the cartels. Stop paying the cartels. Pay an American company to do it. You'll vet them. But Larry, bad guys can't go through the Ellis Island system. They'll be trying to cross the border. So now our border patrol could do its actual job, stop bad guys, and stop being babysitters for families trying to cross the border. If a family's trying to cross the border and you can find work and a job, go through the Ellis Island system. You'll get vetted. You'll pay your taxes. You'll get your job. Go work. Maybe it's a cannabis field. I don't care. Wherever it is, you pick. Wherever it is, you'll go there. You don't have to go into crime. You don't have to be in a black market. And now the Border Patrol can go get bad guys. I would much rather them go get bad guys than babysit families. It doesn't sound crazy to me at all. I don't get it. It sounds like what everybody should be doing. I mean, that's the crazy part. It's it. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. If I am, you can tell me. 585-346-3000 is the number. Larry Sharpe, WYSL, Rochester, New York. Sharpe Radio. Back with your calls and more of your chat. I see it. I do see your chat. I will talk to you, I promise, after the break.
Introducing a sobering and unavoidable truth. The latest advancements in artificial intelligence have made cyber attacks easier than ever before. Cyber criminals are relentlessly targeting your business right now, seeking the tiniest opening in your defenses to drain your accounts and steal sensitive data. Your finances and your customers' trust are on the line. Call the experts at Simple Tech Innovations now.
All right, we have
585-999.
You're welcome
to secure your business today. Don't wait until it's too late. Make the call today. 585-999-TECH.
Avon Gun and Hunting Supply, a locally owned and operated gun shop here for your hunting needs. With changes in New York State laws, they'll work with you to fulfill your needs. Open from 10 a.m. Tuesday through Saturday, Avon Gun, East Main Street, next to Tompkins Community Bank.
Livingston County Pizza Company and Gluten-Free Bakery has a great deal on Tuesdays. A large 4-topping pizza for $18, regular or gluten-free. Call 226-9575. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Livingston County Pizza Company and Gluten-Free Bakery in Avon.
In 1926, the Avon Fire Department put an Aaron's Fox pumper into service. It now sits fully restored in a museum near Toronto. Avon has an opportunity to bring the Fox home for its 100th birthday for a fraction of its praise. I'm going to come back with another soundbite. We ripped on Eric twice. Let's rip on Cuomo. Look us up on Facebook or call 615-6463. Let's bring home the Fox.
Sharpe Way Radio on the WYSL stations.
COVID did not get into the nursing homes by people coming from hospitals. COVID got into the nursing homes by staff walking into the nursing home.
See that? That wasn't his fault. It was that the evil staff people who are trying to help people. That's the issue. See? Mike, you were wrong. It's the staff that's bad. That's the problem. Oh, never my fault. Oh, my God. Larry Sharpe, WYSL, Rochester, New York, Sharpe Way Radio. So happy to have you with me this afternoon. Yes, it is never his fault. It is never government's fault. It's always an average New Yorker's fault, workers' fault, never, ever anyone's fault that who's in charge. They're always the good guys. Let me grab a call if I could. I'm going to grab Keith. Keith, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm concerned as always about the illegals who physically attacked those police officers. What kind of state have we got have we gotten into it today that they could not have pulled their service weapons and not shot to kill, but at least wound? What kind of society is allowing our officers to be beaten up? And I guess if they had used their weapons, I'm hearing in the media and elsewhere, they would have been brought up possibly on charges. Believe it or not, from how I've always come across to everyone, I, Keith, am the grandson of a police officer. My paternal grandfather was 34 years Cleveland PD, 1921 to 55. I'm sure
Tough time.
officer, pardon me?
Tough time. That's prohibition. Tough time.
Well, yeah, but they knew how to use their weapons. Back then, they only had what I'm calling single-shot revolvers. They would have used their weapons to keep the bad guys off of them. That's my succinct question. What has happened in today's America that an officer cannot pull his weapon to keep himself safe? I don't understand, especially if bad guys, prosecutors like Alvin Bragg is going to bring them up on charges like that Marine who had to take the life there in a subway to protect his fellow subway riders. What kind of prosecutor
let me
would
touch a couple of
prosecute
those.
police?
I think there are several issues here. One of them is I don't think the cops thought anything was going to happen. I think they were surprised in this case. I mean, this specific case. I think in this case, they were surprised. I think if I look at the video, they weren't ready for this to happen. So they were surprised and jumped by it was several, 4 or 5. I forgot how many, but it was a bunch. So I think they were actually surprised, number one. Number two, recently, you're finding a problem right now in NYPD. For those of you who don't know, those of you in New York City probably know, there's a massive morale problem here in the New York City Police Department. There are a lot of people who are retiring early, leaving, getting out, going to other police departments. We're having trouble recruiting people. It's true. That's absolutely true. So there is a problem right now with morale, and they don't want to draw the pistols because they are afraid, to your point, they're going to go to jail. They're going to get fired, lose their jobs. There is a problem. And I think most average New Yorkers have decided that they don't want to do that with cops. They don't want to go down that road. But as I mentioned earlier, the migrants don't know any better. They don't know this system. They don't know how it works. They don't get it. It's not, and we're not helping. Again, this is our fault. We're letting in people who are criminals versus vetting them. And I want to be clear. I honestly believe the vast majority of the people coming in here are not criminals. But when you let tens, if not hundreds of thousands of them into one state/city, there's going to be a bunch of gangbangers in it. That's how it works. It's just human nature. We should know this. The more we let in, the more bad guys we let in. That's how it works. So yeah, maybe I get 95% good guys, but I get 5% bad guys. And when it's 100,000 of them, that's 5,000 bad guys. It's a lot of bad guys. So that is my issue. I think your point's a valid one, Keith. And I think the timing of both of these was horrible. Or if you're Alvin Bragg, perfect. Did I answer your question?
One sentence.
Another call
Wake
on
up,
hold.
Americans, save our law enforcement people. Save them, please. Thank you. Bye.
Well, there we go. Thank you, Keith. I'm going to grab another call if I could. How
Roger.
are you? Roger.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Roger?
All right. So that thing with Cuomo, also you have to remember that he was he got lobbied by the assisted living people to ask that they be protected from lawsuits, like giving them.
Yes, I remember that too.
You know what I mean? So that's
yes.
You know that was bad also. You know, but
well, the piece I bring up constantly, and people don't see this. Back in the day, if you read old poems like Grendel and King Lear, stuff like that. They call the king a ring giver, and the goal is because the king will give out some of the spoils of war and such, and a ring obviously being one of the spoils of war. We have that in New York. We give out the spoils of war, which is the government contracts. And to your point, Roger, he gave out money basically to these, facilities. And it was I just got texted a report just came out from WABC that New York City Housing Authority, NYCHA, 70 employees arrested by the feds taking money for contracts, millions of dollars, taking bribes to give out contracts. I've been telling you guys for years, the reason why the government wants to run everything is so they can hand out government contracts. That's the reason. Roger, you're saying exactly that.
Mm-hmm. So, but it goes two ways also, because he gave them contracts because they donated money to his campaign. You know what I mean?
Of
So
course.
We have to do something about that. You know what I mean? But I also say, look, nothing's going to change until we become a citizen ballot initiative state.
Yep.
New York City is already a ballot initiative city, so y'all could be running something.
I am with you.
You know what I mean?
Right? I am totally with you. I think the issue is the system is not going to fix itself. If we don't fix it, it doesn't get fixed.
Exactly. Support S-2290, Senator Pamela Helming's bill. That would make us that state. And Assemblyman Joshua Jensen's A-2933. You know what I mean?
There we go, guys. You heard it. Roger, thank you, my friend. So I want to go on to Merlin. I think Merlin is trying to, I don't know if he's teasing me. I don't know if he is. Merlin, if you're not teasing me, I guess so. I'll take the bait. If it is tease, he says, who's going to fix my roads again and again? As I talk constantly about shutting down government, less and less, having less control. I'll tell you who will fix the roads, Merlin. You don't give out the government contract. You actually just let someone fix the road. And we have a policy on it already. It's called, if you've seen it, adopt a highway. So the government doesn't clean the highway. A private company cleans the highway. And what do they get for it? They get their name on the highway saying, adopt a highway, Johnny's Diner, whoever, Google is cleaning the road. So they clean the roads. And it's not a government contract. In fact, they pay the government. The government just gets the money. The government doesn't pay them. They pay the government. This is how you could fund things without taxation. It's that simple. So my idea from literally years ago was to actually fund the bridges that way. Literally just have leasing naming rights out to a bridge. Instead of the Triborough Bridge or RFK Bridge, whatever, it's the Google Bridge. Google now pays for the maintenance of the bridge. We still own the bridge. We still inspect the bridge. Right now in New York State, bridges still collapse. That happens in New York State, and we run and own all the bridges. Well, we can still own the bridges. We can still inspect the bridges, but now the people who fix them are a private company. Now I'm not handing out taxpayer dollars to a government, horrible government, contractor. Now they're paying me for the right to fix it. Totally different, I agree. Guys, I hope I wasn't too crazy today. I'm so happy you gave me a chunk of your afternoon. I will see you all very soon.
Have a great rest of your day.